Hello and welcome to the daily Revelations 2 news. So
Yay.
apparently there was this and this leaked earlier today, and normally I'm rather like when it comes to rumors, but both these pictures are hosted at xbox.com. So I would say this is pretty official. Like I would say this is real. Like this is Revelations 2 and it's probably gonna be announced by Capcom soonish. Like otherwise, I don't see why they would like have these assets hosted by Xbox and probably other sites.
Wait, first of all, can I say, um, where do I start? That was the biggest understatement of your reaction to rumors I've ever heard in my life. It's more like, bitch, 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 I hate rumors, it's not true.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is. Yeah. I will say this. I am slightly tired of people believing every single rumor out there. Like for some reason, especially with RE, there's been a ton of rumors. Like rumors about Resident Evil 2 HD, Resident Evil, like other rumors about Revelations 2, which were fake. Like a ton of different rumors about Resident Evil 7, and they're all so goddamn obvious. Like if you don't have any official source, or if it like doesn't seem super real, then people should assume that it's false, and it's just annoying to see so many people be basically naive and believe every rumor out there. But this one is definitely real.
That was more like it. Thank you. Yay! Yay! I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, I mean, I am. I think it'll be fun. I am happy that this is made now for consoles rather than handhelds because I think Revelations 1 was held back quite a bit by it being primarily made for uh, uh, for the 3DS. Like
Yeah.
the size of levels, like there were constant loading screens and stuff like that. I feel like that won't be an issue anymore with
The
when
size of
it's.
levels, the same environments used over and over again, the same enemies, just a couple different enemy types.
I also suspect if the controls and and UI was simplified because it was made for handheld. Maybe they'll just make the gameplay a bit more in depth when it's made for other platforms. Hopefully.
I mean, I think they definitely have the opportunity to make everything more in depth now that it's being, if it is being developed for consoles instead of handheld.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna bet that. I mean, we have Xbox 360 as a confirmed platform, but I'm betting that they're targeting similar platforms as remaster. So I would expect it to come to 360, PS3, PC, and also PS4 and Xbox One.
You do think it's a sure thing for new generation?
I wouldn't say a sure thing. But I think it's very likely. I think it is very unlikely that big publishers now would only focus on previous generation. I think they will go for both, like new gen and old gen. Well, I mean,
I def
or just only new gen. I think that's also very possible. I think that is what they're definitely doing with RE7, for instance. But we'll see whenever they announce that.
I mean, I think I wouldn't be surprised if this maybe would be what they're announcing for 360, PS3, and PC, and then RE7 will be their big next gen debut.
No, I think they like money too much.
Doesn't it
And
cost more money to develop for both generations though too?
it does, but I mean, I'm pretty sure that empty framework is probably easy to use on Xbox One and PS4. So like it shouldn't be that much more money for them to just target those platforms too. And like they know like those two platforms are selling quite a lot of consoles, so there's a market there.
Yeah.
Like especially since they decided remaster was worthwhile, like releasing for the new generations. I mean, for the new generation, I think it's likely they'll do the same thing with this game.
Either way, the fact that it is being developed for console instead of handheld, like that's just enough. That's they've got so much potential to make that a really good thing. Because I didn't play Revelations. I didn't own it at all on 3DS, so I can't say I didn't experience it. But I loved Revelations on 360 and on PC. And I know we disagree on this, but I enjoyed it more than RE6. and I think it had a lot of really good things that they could expand upon like so greatly if they take the chance to do it and if they focus on console instead of
Yeah.
handheld.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think like if this is greatly improved from Revelations One, I think it would be a great title. But I think they really need to greatly improve on what they first made, because Revelations One is a good game, but it's very flawed. Like I love the part on the cruise ship where you play as Jill and you have to explore and do stuff. Like that part is great. And then you suddenly get into this really linear sequence where you just shoot hunters and it's kind of boring.
Yeah,
And that is a
Mm.
very large part of the game. So if they do that kind of campaign structure again, I will be very disappointed.
I'll
And
be surprised if they do.
I also think they kind of need better writers.
Yeah, I
I,
was
I
gonna say that.
I do not like the writing in Revelations One.
Icewave actually pointed that out to me when we were talking about it earlier, but they outsourced the writing for the last one, right? It was like a completely
I
different
think.
company.
Well, I mean, Revelations One was not made in house by Capcom. It was outsourced to another Japanese company, and they did the bulk of the work. I don't know if the writing happened in house or if that was also the other company.
I think I remember at least seeing in the credits like some weird story writer company that I'd never seen before
Hmm.
as credited for
It, they,
story.
they-
But
they've actually had a really weird history about storyline writing in the RE series. Like it is common that they have different writers for for various games, and for a very long time they had this company called Flagship, I think was the name, and they were responsible for like story writing in many of the old RE games. But I don't think that's any longer the case. It's really confusing, and it just sounds like a big mess, to be honest.
yeah. Well, anybody besides the ones that did the writing for Revelations 1, I want them to get away from that. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah.
But do you think they'll stick with the characters that they created in Revelations 1?
I mean, I think when it comes to side characters, I think it's likely at very most we'll see one, because Capcom doesn't have a good tendency to reuse side characters ever.
That's true.
And for the most part, I am okay with that in regards to Revelations One, because I like there's a few okay characters and there's more characters which are less okay. Like Keith and Quint, I don't need those back. I'm okay with them being gone.
I would only like to see Jessica come back. Like out of all the new characters, Jessica's the only one that I was interested in. Like she had story that had potential.
I think there's one
Parker needs to come
character.
back.
What do you say?
Parker needs to come back. He needs to buy people lunch. Actually, do it.
Parker is kind of funny, but I would personally be okay with him being gone, really.
Oh,
But I think there's one character who should be the star of this game, and that's Lady Hunk.
Oh
Hunk should
God.
be the main character of Revelations 2. It
With
is.
Rachel's voice.
No, I think it's time they give her a unique voice. And like she should get like a super in-depth backstory, and yeah, Lady Hunk the game. Let's go. But seriously though, I think well, I think and hope we'll see other like characters returning from all the games. Like I think it's about freaking time they have Claire back, because she hasn't been in an R game in a really long time.
Yeah.
which was the last one? Would that be Code Veronica?
If you don't include Dark Side Chronicles,
I don't.
so yeah, Code Veronica I guess would be the last game.
Well, I think wasn't like the main idea and selling point of Revelations the fact that it went back in time and explored a point that we didn't know about that was like part of the character's history.
Yeah,
So, like, it would only make sense to go back to characters that we know and explain things that happened if they're gonna like continue with that theme. But hopefully, they don't do the stupid Terra Grigia mess that they made managed to come up with.
Yeah, actually, thinking about it, Revelations. It's set before 5, so it's like the earliest known mission as part of the BSAA that we know of.
well, I
I mean,
mean,
Right?
don't I you. I mean, I am no expert on RA lore, so I mean, I couldn't answer that for certain.
me neither.
Like
I do know.
hmm?
I mean, I do know that there was some connection in the notes of Revelations or the files or whatever that Excella was the one that gave direction to Jessica. Or was that speculation? I can't remember. There was some like I think you linked me to a Japanese video or something that had
Oh
like
yeah,
special
like
content.
yeah, the Jessica's report.
Yeah, that. So I like that that ties in with 5. And
And
going
there
off of
is
that,
actually another reference, like in one of the files in 5, like the mission they did in Revelations, that is actually very briefly mentioned in 5.
how? Do you remember like
I
the
think
wording?
they refer to a mission Jill and Chris did on some kind of cruise ship, and I think that is the extent of the reference. But still, it's kind of
Yeah,
neat that they managed to have some kind of reference that way.
yeah. Well,
Um,
I like that it does have the potential to tie in with more of the RE5 story because that's obviously my favorite game in the series, and there's so many characters in that they could like further tie into.
yeah,
And
I don't know.
if they develop it with that in mind, they could make the game more akin to like a Lost in Nightmares style, except expanded a lot more
Yeah.
instead of making it like I don't know. It seems like it could have direction that like I could have more confidence in compared to other future RE titles.
I mean, I
Here's
personally
a
don't
thought.
see that much they can take directly from RFI, but I mean, I definitely think it's a good idea for them to just like build up upon like stuff we don't know that much about,
Yeah,
but I've mentioned in the past. What are you gonna say, Ryman?
Would you like to see the scanning mechanic from the first game to be expanded upon
No,
further? Or
that was a
no,
no?
chore.
get
That
rid of
was
that.
no. It became so dull to do in longer because it would just become this like thing you just did every time you went into a room. Okay, scanner is thing. Oh, I got some ammo there. Okay, I mean it just became a boring thing to do. I think.
I think that was the gimmick designed for handheld anyway, so there's no need to bring that back.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I also think they like in like in addition to the like in addition to improving the campaign structure, I think they also need to work on the core combat because I think that's another thing which really disappointed me with Revelations because like the combat itself, like especially the melee system, it was so straightforward and it wasn't all that interesting. You basically only had two choices in combat, like shoot someone in the head for a lot of damage or just like shoot their arms to do one melee. Like that was basically it. I would like to see a lot more like variation to the combat and
Yeah.
more options.
Hmm.
We haven't actually mentioned at all like what we're looking at here, like this the only screenshot of the game.
Oh yeah.
So I like this looks like a prison, I guess.
Yeah, it
Um,
does look like a prison.
those things next to the door look like they have the potential to be thumbprint scanners. What do you think about that, Sectus? You like those, don't you? That's a really hard puzzle.
I only barely remember. I can remember the like puzzles with screwdrivers. Those weren't too
I,
bad.
I remember you mentioning in a stream once that you had a lot of trouble and you got stuck briefly at the part when playing on 3DS where you had to scan
Oh
your
yeah, yeah,
fingerprint.
because oh yeah, I remember that because I just wasn't aware that I had to like press down on the on the touchpad. I tried everything else but press on it, and
Yep.
god damn it. But I can see the screenshot. Like these doors are closed, but this one is unlocked. Yeah, the plot thickens, you guys.
Maybe that's where Sailor Chris is waiting to make his escape.
Oh god.
But uh, but do you guys have any thoughts about this setting, like a prison?
Well, it's not a ship, so that's good.
It looks spooky.
Although to be honest,
And
like,
it's that.
you continue.
What's that there? Curious about this.
Enhance.
It
It's
Just more.
looks
I see
kind of
pixels.
yeah.
Yeah.
From far away, it looks like a ball. That's all I
don't know.
see.
I
I don't
actually,
know.
from far away, it looked like an electric chair, but then I thought, no, that's a really weird place for an
You
electric
see
chair.
an electric chair? How? I can't. Well, maybe. Okay, I see the back. Okay, never mind. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's probably not an electric chair. It just looks like one from a
Yeah.
distance.
I was gonna say that I wouldn't mind if they like somewhat returned to the setting of a cruise ship because I think it is a really good like setting, but it didn't utilize it as well as I could because like if you remember the very start of Revelations, where you start outdoors with all the rain and everything, like that looked freaking amazing. But that was the only time in the entire game you were outdoors on the ship.
Yeah,
So if they could just like briefly have one level like that where you're outdoors on the ship, they could have that. I wouldn't mind that.
maybe if it's like a flashback sequence, but I would much rather them focus on different environments.
Yeah.
But this
Uh,
looks promising.
yeah. And a friend of mine mentioned to me earlier that like this is the box art you would usually see for a physical title and not a digital title. So like this is most likely something
Oh,
released
also,
on disc.
if you go back to the box art, it's like this. You can notice that this box art reinforces the whole prison theme with the bars here, and is that barbed wire around some of the bars?
Yeah, that's the point. So yeah, I think I guess it's likely that like the prison is the main setting in the game.
Hmm. Yeah. Does this look like it could be a prison in Africa?
I am
Please.
not an expert on prison designs, so I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe it's just the same prison as in Code Veronica. Maybe just a retelling of that game. Maybe we'll see Steve back.
Oh God.
No, no.
But
Wait,
when
so
it comes,
speaking of characters, do you think Chris and Joel will be the main focus of this one too?
I mean, I have no idea, but I kind of hope not. I think it's time they have like other characters as main characters. I think I
Although
think
I
Claire
think
is the most likely, really.
I
Oh, I thought
think
you said Barry. Sorry.
if it's set after the first game but still before RE5, they could. But who knows? I mean, there was a little thing accompanying the box art rumor where someone seems to think there'll be 3 returning characters, 2 female and 1 male.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that rumor, but it is separate from this, so I just decided to not pay attention to it because there is no confirmation that that rumor is real.
Mm.
Like that is actually from June, so it's
Yeah.
not so it's not related to this at all. But when it comes to characters, I mean, like another thing I wouldn't mind is that they finally do reintroduce like side characters from early games. Like I wouldn't mind like seeing Sheva back
Yes,
or
please.
Barry or Rebecca or Helena or Sherry or Jake. Like there's like they have a ton of side characters they have created, but they haven't used a whole lot.
You know what? If they did bring Sheva back to this at all, in any way, shape, or form, like I don't care how the game plays, it would be my favorite game of the year.
And I think there is one thing we can definitely assume will be in the game, and I'm kind of curious what you guys think about the return of raid mode.
I would much
Mm.
prefer Mercenaries, but
Yeah, I mean I agree, but raid mode was pretty well received overall, so I think it's a given we will see that again.
yeah.
I do hope though that if they do give it like have it back, try to design it more like in the 3DS version than the HD version because the HD version ended up being a total grind and way too many hunters. Goddamn
No
hunters!
hunters, please. No, no, just don't put them in this game. None of them. We had plenty.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Yeah.
and um, and I think it's likely we will see this announced. I mean, there is PAX next week. I think that is possible. I'm not sure how likely we'll see an official announcement then, but like like TGS at the latest, we will definitely have an official announcement of this game that I'm certain of, and
Yeah.
TGS is only 1 month away.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll have more details then. Do you think, since this is being developed for consoles again, with hopefully a better netcode designed, will
Hmm.
co-op actually be implemented into
That's a good question.
campaign?
I
Mm.
mean, I would personally love to see co-op in the main game, but I mean, who knows?
I would like to see it too, but
Oh yeah.
I
I
don't think I would
think,
mind another single player experience if they did it right.
yeah, I think netcode at the very least will be a lot better because I'm pretty sure the very simple netcode they had in Merchants 3D and Revelations was just because of the 3DS. I think they wanted something which was very reliable on a wireless connection, and that is why it's so bad.
Yeah.
Mm.
And with this announcement and remaster, I am getting more and more certain that RE7 will not be a reboot, and I'm happy about that because
Yeah,
this
that's
shows
a
that
good point.
they are still like they're still going with the RE universe they have already.
Wait a second. What if the Revelations universe becomes the reboot? Because this is kind of like a spin-off series. What if they just turn this into the new focus?
Uh, I
Dun
I
dun
mean
dun.
I think it's so connected to the main games that I mean like you wouldn't really I mean you couldn't really call that a reboot.
I mean, it doesn't have to be though. Like they could completely turn this into a completely separate thing if they wanted to. Like the story was just so stupid, they could completely scrap what happened in the first one, or just completely take it in a different direction too.
I mean, I
Like I,
think I don't think that's very likely. I think that will only happen if RE7 sells like one copy and this sells like 5 million copies.
yeah,
And based on RE6 and Revelations 1, I don't think that's possible, really.
didn't I don't know where I saw this, but wasn't Revelations mentioned by Capcom as like a highlight of one of their financial years?
uh, I think last I checked, they sold like maybe 2.5 million combined, which is good, but not nearly as much as RE5 or 6, and only
Definitely not
barely
five.
better than Operation Raccoon City. But we don't talk about that.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I think a big reason why they're going for Revelations 2 is also that this was the best received RE game in a really long time,
yeah.
which I am personally a little bit bummed about because I personally think it is the weakest RE game in a really long time. But yeah, there's a lot of people saying like, ah, finally Capcom went back to classic RE horror. So I think people like that convinced Capcom they should continue with this. Like and also all the positive like press reviews they got.
I want them to mix the positive reviews they got out of Revelations, the design of that, and mix that with Lost in Nightmares gameplay because like that was kind of like a classic revisit too.
Yeah.
That like I enjoyed the way that played.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I kind of I kind of feel like the Revelations one kind of went for that kind of gameplay a fair bit with Jill on the ship, and they just and if they designed the entire game like that and also added co-op, that would be amazing.
yeah,
That would make it the best campaign in a really long time, I think.
I agree with that.
Mm.
But I mean, I guess we'll just see what they end up doing. But I'll be super
I think
happy if they do that.
Yeah, me
it
too.
could really benefit from co-op because I mean, whenever you had a partner, they didn't really do anything
Yeah,
in the first game.
yeah, that was kind of weird about Revelations One that it was a single player game, but almost the entire time you did have an AI partner with you.
Yeah, it seems like they just existed to uh initiate scripted sequences.
Yeah, and
Like
just
me and my
have
sweet ass are on the way.
yeah, and just have an excuse for
Yeah.
kind of bad writing. Although I will say that line probably the best line in the entire game.
Yes.
But
I don't know if there's much else to say really.
well, there's not a whole lot to go on, is there?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I think we'll definitely have another podcast about this once it's actually officially announced and they like reveal more stuff about the game, like what playable character there will be and etc. But I am happy that we finally have RE games being announced. I think that's good.
Me too. I'm very excited about this. Like
I am really surprised that like just 1 week ago we had remaster announcement and now this leaks. That's funny timing, I think.
yeah, I'm happy about them both.
I'm not surprised because I mean, Resident Evil is still one of Capcom's like biggest franchises, right?
Yeah, it is. Well, yeah, I think yeah. Yeah. I mean, RE5
Well,
is the best-selling
And
title of all time.
wasn't there like a news story like it was either a few months back or late last year that Capcom wasn't doing so hot financially. So you think they might be trying to push their biggest franchise as much as possible to earn some cash?
I mean, I think they would push their biggest franchises regardless, really.
Yeah.
And
Aye,
people,
but it just seems like they're pushing it even more than usual.
I don't know. I mean, if you look back, they have always had at least one RE game each year for a very long time, and there's been years where they had like up to three. Like 2012, they had three RE titles released, which is insane.
Yeah.
And now it looks like I might be getting that again if they announce RE7 anytime soon. We'll have remaster, we'll have this and 7. Maybe.
I get the impression
Well, I
from
mean, they won't be
this
the same
being-
year though.
Yeah.
You think?
And also RE7, I think that is something they will be spending a fair amount of time on. I think that'll be new gen only, and it'll use their new Panteray engine and it'll just be another high budget title, although probably not as high budget as RE6.
Yeah. That's what I think too. I think it's gonna be a long, long time before we hear about that anyway.
Also, I'm gonna bet that Revolutions 2 is probably like fall 2015. That is my guess.
That sounds right.
Like if we're really lucky, maybe spring 2015, but I think that's unlikely.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that's it, and I'm kind of curious to hear what other people think. So if you have any opinion, feel free to post in the comment section for this video.
Try to find the positives in it, guys. It's a good thing. Be excited.
I
be
think
happy.
I think most people will be positive about this. I think remaster is a bit of an exception because there's quite a few people who are like really obsessed about the whole background thing. But like there's little negative to see in this announcement. Well, this leak.
I mean, yeah. Think about it. Parker might come back. There's plenty to be
Oh,
excited
yes. Good point, Ryman.
about.
Lady Hunk, main character, calling it.
Well, let me show you guys my big positive out of this.
Oh God, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're not doing
Okay.
it yet.
Oh, I forgot I disconnected.
You disconnected.
Yeah, a couple.
Okay,
minutes ago.
so what Akamete wanted to do is this. Like he's
No,
a
please don't
really,
zoom in on boobies.
really big fan, and like I was trying to
Stop.
zoom in on her face, but I can't because I don't have a big enough monitor to do it because stuff.
Wait.
What?
Stop.
What?
You have a 2560 by 1440 monitor. How is that not big
Okay, so
enough?
maybe if I move this window further up, then I can. Yeah, no. I don't have enough screen real estate.
How? How is that even possible?
I don't know. I need a bigger
you-
monitor.
Update the screenshot for me, please. I rejoined. Okay. This. Okay. This. Edit it, Sectus. Make it show when I said what it was. Okay.
God
You
damn
can-
it.
You know how to edit.
That's an outtake. That is an outtake.
You're an outtake.
Hey. No.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Bye guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.